All right, everybody, welcome. It is 4:30 on Wednesday. Welcome to the live. Bring up Jim in a second. Just formats and rules, questions. The way we do this, we don't call people up on panel with this stream. We may have Gary Bernacki here. There's someone that has a propane question. So if Gary does come up, I don't know if he will, but he's been invited. If he does come up, he can talk about propane. But right now, everyone has been asking me about getting James back on alive. So I talked to him last week and we agreed to do tonight. So without further interruption, let me bring Jim up. Good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon, Ken. How you doing?
Good. So that first question from Mr. Sharp, I think we'll hold off. If Gary joins us, we could talk propane because, I could talk about working on V8 engines, but I've never converted anything like that to propane. So, maybe Gary knows the ratios,
Yeah.
knows like you said, massive regulators and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the stuff, I go up to about 22 horsepower, and I think the engine he's talking about is quite a bit more. So it's going to need a pretty big regulator
Yep. Okay. We'll
to
see.
run that engine.
Even Mr. Klaus is in the house. All right, Jay,
Nice.
let's see what we got here for a question. 3 new Toros this month with bad engines, the 140cc. See, when you say throw rods, though, they're just not keeping oil in them. One was a 150 bad rod. I'm not seeing, put it this way, the Briggs engine, which is, what is it, a Lonson? Or I'm trying to think which one is it.
Unseen.
Yeah, is it a Lonson, whatever? It's not an E series. Is it an E series, Jay? I mean, I know they have the 140, 150. Do you know exactly what engine it is? But the only time I see them throwing rods like that is low oil and on an angle, an extreme angle where it starves, and you starve the crank and the rod bearing, and boom. It'd be nice to know if the owners told you at what they were doing when it did that. I mean, are you seeing any blown engines, Jim, and stuff that you're getting?
Yeah. I mean, I don't do a lot of lawnmowers. Really, the only blown Briggs I get are the storm responders. Got one right there. Ran out of oil, but that's usually the only reason. But that's, these engines are different. I mean, the ones he's talking about are most likely made overseas. So, yeah, could it be the angle? I mean, that's one thing people don't think about when they cut their yard. But, even if you look at a quantum engine, those things last forever and people use them the same way.
Yeah, they tell you in the manuals what angles you can go. Usually it's 15 degrees, no more. As far as the adapters on the Toro, the ones that have, let's see, the ones that have the blade clutch definitely has the two-piece adapter on it with a disc and then a blade cover. I did see the last one I had in was like that, where you actually had a blade engagement and it had an aluminum disc and then the blade cover where the two screws bolt into it. Otherwise, it's the regular 5/8 headed bolt with a fine thread inside it. I don't know when they changed that, but I know if you have one that disengages the blade, it'll definitely be the 2-bolt adapter. So I hope that helps answer your question. Let's see who. Oh, there's Gary. I sent you a link, Gary. I don't know if you want to come up if you can or not, but I did send you a link. People are saying hello. Hey, there's Big
Hello.
Hank. Hank's going out to dinner. Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday. Hank goes out to dinner on Wednesday. Enjoy, Hank. Peter's here. It's been a crazy year, though. I don't know. I mean, Jim, you don't do it as a sideline per se. You've got your friends and all your subscribers who drop stuff off with you to fix or to find out what the issue is. But with me, I did use it for a while. I've been doing it 25 years to help supplement my income. I don't really need it now, so I'm a lot more pickier and choosier now. But with this extreme heat we've had, present week accepted, I've said no to a lot of people because I do a lot of my
Yeah.
work outside, and I'm just not going to do 90, 100-degree heat. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. It's been brutal working out here, even in the garage or testing anything outside. It's just, I don't know, the humidity this year has been really hard.
Yeah. You're talking about ACing possibly in your garage?
I was thinking about a mini split at some point to do AC and heat pump, but I don't have it yet, and chances are it's not going to be this year,
Yeah, that's okay.
unfortunately.
Gary's going to grab a beer. Cool. So he's got,
Nice.
he probably only has about 17 choices downstairs. So the ones he's brewing. Robert, which homemade generator? I know there's a bunch of videos.
I've
Someone,
seen a couple recently where someone's made homemade generators using car alternators and an
oh,
inverter
yeah.
and a
Yep,
battery.
yep.
Very interesting. Tempted to do it, but the alternators, they're really not meant to put out the power that they say. So, like, if you have a 70 amp alternator,
Mhm.
that's like the surge, So, like, if you want to run it at 70 amps, you probably need a 140 amp alternator, because it's just going to overheat.
As I think my wife's, when she had her Jeep, the alternator was like 200 amp. It was a crazy number, big. And it was like $400, $500. It was crazy. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's a lot of money for an alternator.
And I know a lot of people are lately saying, "Oh, use a lithium-ion battery, this and that." I hear a lot of no, 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 no. Don't do that with your car because it'll screw up with the alternator. So I hear a lot of bad things about doing that. Jim, are there Northern Tool retailers in your area? There's no Northern Tools by me. How about by you, Jim?
No, no, unfortunately.
Yeah, just
I
the
heard they
four.
were closing some stores. Um, Maybe
Do
I
they
heard
still
wrong, but
make that North Star brand of a product?
yeah, as far as I know, they're still selling that. It's a good machine.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those come in. Mostly around here, I'd say it's 90% Generac or Husky. Or Briggs. You do see the Briggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Generac,
Yeah. I haven't
very
seen as many
popular.
Champion.
PowerMate.
Yeah.
Champion, yeah, I don't see as many either. I mean, they're out there. Actually, I just got I think a DeWalt, which is a first, but they're all the same thing, more or less, just different branding.
Yeah.
A few different bells and whistles.
Uh-oh. What's Mike? With your electrical knowledge, ever thought of doing something with battery equipment for robots? You ever do anything like that with the kids?
Actually, my son is in the robotics team. He kind of is all over that. He's building the robots, doing the coding, taking apart, reassembling the motors, the controllers. I mean, he's
Hmm.
really good at that stuff.
Is that a STEM program?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Cool. I see. Is he still doing the 3D printing?
he is. Yeah,
Oh.
and he's getting really good at it. Like the first thing he designed, which
Mhm.
was a airbox cover, he printed, I don't know how many, but he filled up a laundry basket of covers because none of them fit right. So it took him months to
Yeah.
do. And I came to him recently with, I needed an end cover for a generator, just a very proprietary, very detailed end cover. And same day, printed it up, handed it to me, fit perfect.
What does he
So he's
use
getting
for
good.
the design software?
He's switched back and forth a few times, but right now he is using, God, the name escapes me. What's
The
that
one,
popular one?
the one from Autodesk, the Fusion 360.
Yes, that is it. Yeah, that's the one he's currently
Yeah,
using.
that's one of the most popular free downloads too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, your
he's
son, isn't that in your a link in your description on your channel? If someone wants to get something 3D printed, is that still valid?
it is. Yeah, he opened up his own Etsy shop, so he's been adding stuff to it. And he's been bugging me to release the video of the
Oh.
cover he makes. He wants to put that in his store.
Mhm.
Um, so actually, I tested that a few days ago on that machine. It was a Tecumseh, fighting me every step of the way. So it's not ready. Long story short, it needs more work.
Mhm. All right, let's see what else we got. Go Fast Racing, cheers. It's probably across the pond. Lee Harris have a North Star 8000. Yeah, 13 horse. What'd you say it was per horsepower, Jim? How many watts?
500 to about 550. So a 13 horse, usually you wouldn't see that on an 8,000, at least not 8,000 running watts.
It could be peak.
Yeah, like a 13 horse can do 6,500 watts easily. 7,000 watts maybe.
Let's see. Go fast. I was asking my friend Tom in Australia, who's like Mr. Two Stroke, Vintage Engine Repair. Great channel if you're into two stroke. Any questions regarding that, go to Vintage Engine Repair and talk to Tom. He's the best with that. He helps me all the time, even though he's literally 12-hour time difference. We talk almost daily, and over the weekend, if I'm working on something that's 10 o'clock in the morning, it's 10 o'clock p.m. his time, and we'll help each other fix things. I help him with like machining stuff because I'm into machining, and he helps me with tuning the two stroke. So, like I said, I met Jim through YouTube, and Gary and all of our other friends here, and it's quite a way to get knowledge. If you have something that's either broken or you want to learn something, I love YouTube, and YouTube is to me the library of today. We don't have to
Absolutely.
do encyclopedias or anything. This is where we go. So let's see here. Another, consider giving up your EU 6500. I thought you had a bigger one, Jim. Don't you have a bigger one?
The EU 6500, that is the main one I use. I did keep the North Star, the Vanguard V Twin, low THD machine. So that's very similar to the XG. The XG I considered. And I would keep it as a backup. The only thing I don't like about the XG or even the North Star V Twin is just that it consumes a lot of fuel, and it makes more noise. So I don't need that much wattage, but it's a good machine to have. And it's a really good machine, period. But I prefer the quiet, super clean, and fuel efficient inverters.
What's
There's
that?
more to go wrong.
What does that go for in today's dollars, Jim? If you want to buy an EU 6500,
They've actually come down in price a little. I think they're about 4,500 now. They used to be 5,000.
California. Lee corrected 6,500 running. That makes more sense with the 13 horse.
Yeah.
All right. Robert is here. There's David in Kansas. Hello, David. Go over to where is it? Hold on. Yeah, Tom's channel, Vintage Engine Repair. He's really, really good with the two strokes. He writes a lot of articles for Outdoor Power Equipment Forum and Arborist site, things like that. So he's really into it. Curtis King, what do we got? Really interested in the Honda U7000. However, I want it converted to dual fuel. Hopefully, when Gary comes up, we can talk about dual fuel, Curtis. Gary, I think I don't know if he's a dealer or he has an in with the guy who makes the conversion kits. So when Gary comes up, we can come back to that.
Yeah. The motor snorkel is probably the way to go, but I don't see how that would void your warranty. The big concern though is that it's going to push the airbox out maybe a half inch. And the Hondas, they're packed pretty tight, so you might run into problems. And of course, you're going to have to drill a hole for the propane line.
There's my buddy Craig in
Or
Ohio.
potentially run it through the bottom of the machine.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure Gary's getting his beer. Maybe he's having a few, and then he's coming up. Who knows? Anyway, have a few large lift machines paid off. Ooh, fifth axis. Yeah, we've got a bunch of those where I work. I used to be engineering manager at a machine tool company here in Connecticut, and we designed a fifth axis machine, 5-axis, and interesting stuff. Mostly for like blisks, like turbocharger impellers and things like that. Robert, yep, I got your message. I'll take a look. Oh yeah, 5-axis fast with the 2 extra rotaries. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Hey Jim, out of the generators that you get in, percentage-wise, how many actually have a propane option?
very few actually. Percentage wise, probably 3%.
Oh,
I think most of the ones, well, most of the ones I work on are 10 to 20 years old. And back then, I don't think there were many available from the store with the
yeah,
propane option,
yep, yep.
but there's a lot more options now. So I might see some of those in the future, but I might not. Propane, the fuel doesn't go bad, so it's not going to have carb issues. You might have other issues, but not carb issues usually.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like half of the questions now are for Gary. Oh, speak of the devil, here he is. Gary, just in time. We're getting a bunch of Gary Bernacki questions about propane and stuff like that. So I'll let you read Randy's here because that's something probably up your alley.
Gotcha. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right,
Well,
just had a,
number one, what are you drinking? Anything good?
oh, hold on.
Oh, not homemade.
Honestly, I haven't had a chance to make some home recently.
Yeah. All right.
I have one of those in the RV. Maybe I should go get it.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Just using my in-ears.
I just went camping with my friends and we all brought a case of beer. All four of us brought the same case, variety pack, Two Roads.
Yeah.
Two Roads is
We've
a
never
very
had that.
Isn't
Never
Two
had
Roads
that
down here
before.
by me? Aren't they down here?
Stratford,
Yeah,
Connecticut.
yeah.
Yep.
It's the old U.S. Baird building. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
They
right.
used to make tractors in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Tractors and 4-slide machines. And
Why
transfer.
the beer is so good.
Yeah. Anyway, Randy's asking about erratic behavior with dying batteries.
Dying batteries where? Which kind?
You say thermostats and things like that.
Okay, so like a battery power thermostat where it's like 2 AA batteries.
I would assume so,
yeah. So there's
Yeah.
little micro relays in those. So in my house, what happened was, it had a very old thermostat control board down in the basement, and it wasn't powered. The thermostats weren't powered by the house, so we had the battery powered thermostats to basically switch between cool and heat. As the batteries die, they don't have enough power to latch those relays, so they can actually start to bounce and not even turn on at all. So we got rid of those, and we put in the Wi-Fi thermostats. So, but then you have to run the power from the control board up to the thermostat, so it's powered by the house, basically.
Can you just use a transformer though and do it too?
Yeah. So usually there's a step-down transformer from 120 to 24 volts. It powers the thermostat control board, and that also runs your dampers for your different zones. And then the power goes from there up to your thermostats using the common wire.
So you're saying those relays, if the batteries aren't that good, it may...
Right. They last a while. They're pretty energy efficient.
I've seen it. They are very energy efficient, but I've seen it too when it tries to turn on the relay, it'll just blank out the screen. Like the power drops so low, the whole thing.
If you're not using alkaline batteries, yeah.
Curtis, if you go to Jim's homepage about, you'll see the link to his email. It's in there, so you can go see that. There was another propane question. Let me back up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, Gary.
Well, there's a couple. This one here. Here's the second one that came up. EU wants to convert to dual fuel, and I know you represent one of the companies that sells conversions.
U.S. Carburation. They're based in West Virginia, so it won't. Last I checked, it does not void the warranty. However, if there's any damage that occurs to the machine, if it is determined that your installation of that kit improperly caused the damage, then they will not honor the warranty.
That's why you remove the kit first.
Well, there you go. The inherent risk with running on propane you're taking a gasoline engine, you're converting it over to propane or natural gas. It's the opposite with gaseous fuels like that. The more propane or natural gas you feed that engine, the hotter the combustion temperatures are going to be. It's the opposite on gasoline, where you have leaner fuel air mix ratios where it actually burns hotter. The richer on gasoline, the cooler it runs, because then you get that black soot coming out of the muffler there. So the idea is to run as lean as possible with propane and natural gas. So they usually, on the US carburation ones, and I have one downstairs, I can grab it if you guys want to see it. But on top of the demand regulator, they have what's called a load block, and then you can actually restrict the flow of propane gas going to the engine so that you can get the mixture just right. So
now, isn't it the
leanest amount.
opposite with propane? Lean is rich and rich is lean as far as mixture.
No,
like the more propane you put in,
right,
it would be lean, not rich, as if it was gasoline.
No, it is richer, but it's hotter.
Hot.
Like gasoline lean is hot, propane lean is cold.
Correct. It's the problem with the difference with propane is that it has a very high flash point temperature. So you need a hotter spark in order to ignite the gaseous propane. Gasoline is much lower, so that's why you have like a 30 thousandths of an inch gap for the spark plugs typically. With the propane ones, it's actually recommended that you go to like 20 thousandths. So the closer those electrodes are, the hotter the spark. So the hotter the spark means that it will ignite better with on propane. But most of the time you could split the difference, go 25 thousandths, and you're usually fine. A lot of the dual fuel propane and gasoline ones, like from Champion or Furman, for example, usually recommend about 25 to 28 thousandths of an inch. And that usually is a nice happy medium between the two fuels.
Okay. Here's the fun question. I'll let you attack this with your propane background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It needs a 1,000,000 BTU regulator.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's something that they probably could make something to run that, but that's a custom job. I mean, I wouldn't call that exactly a small engine. This is a small engine life.
55 kilowatt.
That's like a military generator size.
Yep. But cool, I mean, would U.S. Carburation even entertain that?
You could call them up and ask, or
you never know.
You never know. I mean, and there's a couple companies out there that are doing the propane conversions, and they lost their. Last I checked, please don't quote me on this, but the last I checked, because a lot of different companies that are doing propane conversion kits are copying the snorkel because the patent ran out on it, or it's just different enough where they can't get any kind of patent infringement. So U.S. Carburation is the original inventor of the motor snorkel. You don't get the Venturi, so the older ones have the Venturi, where it looks like this donut thing in between your air box and the carburetor, which extends out the throat, causing some problems in some of the generators where you have to actually cut the frame.
Right. But the conversion, in theory, though, it's the same as a generator. You would just put the snorkel between the carb and the air box.
Yeah.
You would need a lock-off valve and a regulator that's capable of providing that much propane.
Yep.
And it would run.
Yep. Yeah, they make them even for like the 27 and 30 horsepower V twin. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't be able to do it for a V8. But something that large, there's a lot more complexities. So higher compression ratios.
But something that big, though, I have friends of mine who do have the big generators like that. They have it hooked to the in the ground LP.
Yeah.
Just because of supply, you'd need a hell of a tank, wouldn't you?
You would need a hell of a tank, and honestly, for that size, if it's already set up for gasoline, why not just get yourself a diesel set up? The diesel is going to be a lot more efficient because there's more BTUs in diesel than either of the fuels we're talking about. I mean, it's a cool setup, but maybe just stick with gasoline. I know you try to have an alternative fuel, but running a bigger engine like that, like some of the, you have to have more advanced timing, higher compression ratios. Instead of 8-to-1, it's usually 10 or 12-to-1. So higher compression ratio gives you more, retains the efficiency. But I don't know. It's an interesting project. Do keep us posted. I'm very interested to see how that turns out.
It's surprising that generator that large too was manufactured to run on gasoline to begin with. Because like you said, Gary, usually they're diesel or they're propane. Once you get above the potable generator market, you don't see many gas generators that are.
Yeah. Do you think it was a factory Empire product? I know he says it's powered
I'm
by
not
that
familiar
now,
with
but
it.
he's saying the generator's Empire. Did Empire make 55 kilowatt V8 powered generators? I've never seen one.
Don't know.
Don't know. I don't know much about those.
Let's see. But a Chinese GX200. The governor exploded. Well, that's not fun.
Yikes.
Yeah, I just did that Kohler command the other day for my neighbor's Skag, and the camshaft, just the cam kit OEM from Kohler, because the ACR exploded. It listed for $250. I got one on eBay for about, I think it was like a 120 to 130 shipped. But the ACR is a weird, it's not like a regular ACR. It is in the fact that the arm slides out, but it's got a very, very thin pressed in dowel, sort of like the Briggs, but so thin that I'm afraid it's going to break again. I mean, yeah, the thing's 27 years old. I mean, how, but anyway, I had to pump the lifters up, brand new lifters, pump them up, get those full. I put it together, and after about maybe 30 seconds, my God, it is the quietest command. I mean, we hear commands because most of them are 20 years old or more.
Yep.
So the ones that we get in are always clack, 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 clack. And we always say, you got to run the multi-grade oil, this, that, and the other thing.
10 to
great.
10:30.
But when you put new lifters in, oh my God. I couldn't believe how quiet it was.
Yeah. I did that to my Kohler Command CB15S back in 2015. And I put
this is a 14. Yep.
Yeah, I put the new lifters in there. They're the same size as for a small block Chevy.
Yeah,
but it's got the third balance shaft, so for a single cylinder, it doesn't have that rocking moment in between the cycles. Very smooth running machine.
Yep. Yeah, 27 years old. Oh yeah.
Yeah, mine's a 2001 or a 2000. So that's
this one here was 98, so 27.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but how's business going with the small engine stuff, Gary? You keeping busy, or what do you think?
No, I've been. My day job is keeping me busy. I'm up for a promotion, so I'm being very selective on what work I'm really taking on. You know, it's just I just do it for the supplemental income, really.
Yeah. I've said no literally to 95% of the people who've been trying to get a hold of me, because a lot of them see my name online or my little side business, and they text you or email you like they know you, like you're their cousin Fred or something, and it's like, no.
Yeah. Well,
and then when you don't return a call or something, they get pissed off. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. What's the old saying? We reserve the right to refuse to serve anyone.
Yeah, no, and that's how I kind of take the approach too. I mean, I get a lot of calls on stuff that it's no point in my opinion. It's not worth my time. It's not worth doing the Chinesium crap, or if they're those Quantum series or the 725 series Briggs and Stratton engines with the plastic camshaft and the plastic gears. I mean, why waste time? It's just going to break again. And most people are very understanding with that. You're going to throw $100 to $200 to fix it, and then if it breaks again in a few years or 6 months after it because it's plastic, it's just not worth it. I mean, I'm doing a carburetor on a Briggs V twin, and then 2 weeks ago I just finished fixing an exploded governor gear on a V twin.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen a lot with the V twins lately around here are the overheating when the valve guide drops.
Because they have the cooling fins are not clean. Yeah.
But I did see our friend Martin over there at Individualized Repair. Great channel, by the way, if you haven't seen him. Yeah. Where he had the same thing I had, where the valve seat dropped in the E series, and Briggs warranted it. They actually sent me a whole head assembly. So, and it listed for, I think it was $106 for the whole thing. But yeah, they looked at it as long as it was within 2 years, and it was within 2 years of purchase. They warranted it, and L&R gave me a brand new head. So yeah, worked out. But it's just weird because I should have thought right at the get-go when there was like zero compression, something's going on.
Yeah.
Then you look inside and you see how the rockers are like, But anyway.
Did it overheat, or is that just a flaw in those heads?
I think it overheated because most of those Briggs always run low on oil because they use oil. That's why they say never change the oil. You don't have to change it. It's automatic changing because you're always filling it. So you're constantly putting new oil over old.
Doesn't always work that way.
All right, so never change the oil, but add oil.
You add oil,
that's
but
what it
then
says
it leaves
that's
all the
misleading.
particulates
It says in the
behind.
manual,
Yeah.
check daily or check when you're using it, because the PCV or PVC system on those is huge. It's like the size of a silver dollar, the flapper, and every
Yeah.
one of those air filters always has oil on it because it's sucking so much through the air cleaner through the PCV breather. You know, it's crazy.
Mm.
What's this? I found a couple of. It depends on what parts. I mean, Briggs lately. I don't know if you guys have bought Briggs parts lately, Jim. Probably you more than Gary. Well, no, maybe Gary. The lead times have sucked on Briggs stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
prices.
I haven't. The prices are bad too. I mean, I bought a crankshaft, brand new Briggs crankshaft. I think it was $200. It arrived rusty. Not impressed.
Yeah. Well, the Kohler one I got. I mean, granted, it was old, but it had rust on the cam lobes. I have to Scotch brite them off. But you know, it's weird. They came with the what's it called? Tectonic lubricant, the little tube of the lubricant that you put on the cam lobes and everything. The thing that I didn't like about that Command, and Gary, did you buy the special tool for the Command camshaft to set the end play? I just took the spacer that was on the old cam, put it on the new, and said, "Have a day." You know,
Not made that mistake. So
oh, really? You had end play and because
well,
what I did. Let me explain what I did. If you look in the manual and the sheet that comes with the cam, there's a Kohler tool that you lay on the block and you take a feeler gauge and you see what it is and you subtract it, and that's how you get your shim. What I did was the surface from the bottom where there's no shim, okay, where that flange is like a mushroom, where that surface, I went from there to the top of the camshaft with a high stand, a Cadillac, okay, and I measured it, and it was only 7 or 8 thousandths difference. So I figured 7 to 8 based on the tolerance they give you in the manual. I'm just going to use the shim that was on it. They give you a pack of 6 or 8 different shims in the Kohler cam box, but since it was only 7 or 8 different, I left it, and knock wood, it's running good. But did you buy that tool though a second time, or
no? A straight edge, so you don't have to.
But I thought the tool is stepped, and that's why you have to buy a tool.
No, I never even bought it. What I wound up doing was I took a straight edge.
Yeah, and then you depth it.
Right, and depth it, and got. And I didn't have to. I used the thinnest shim, not on the engine that I have, but another CB15 that had a blown up ACR. Yep. And what happened was that the new camshaft actually came with it was actually machined in the spacer, but they don't give you those shims anymore.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, so, the box I had was probably 20 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't give you the shims anymore. They actually give you it's machined into the new cams. Oh. So you could check it, but your play is within the tolerance of what the service manual says.
Pretty, it's pretty wide.
It's pretty wide. So because I made the mistake, the original one, and if anyone does this job, don't make the same mistake I did. What happened was I put the new cam in. There was a shim that was with the original cam. I put it back together. I tighten all the bolts down. I put it back on the machine. Go to crank it. It's locked up.
Oh, jammed. The gear's jammed. And well, you're lucky. Up. That saved you. Yeah.
Right. So then I flip it over. I had to take it back out, and then I realized
freed it up. Yeah.
Freed it up. So I pulled that. I had to take the oil pan off, pull the shim out.
Yeah, all 12 bolts that are like 1,000,000 foot-pounds. My God.
Yeah, I think 35 foot-pounds each. 15
but taking
to 35.
mine off, I don't know what they used on them, but they started to oxidize in the aluminum. So I was afraid I might strip some of the threads taking them out.
Thankfully, I figured that out in a very short amount of time, but it was just more of a pain that I had to redo the PermTech seal. So I took the shim from the old one out and just put it back in with the machined shim on the new cam.
Yeah.
It's been running great for years. No,
that's one thing.
Because I serviced that like maybe 7 years ago. Still, and I see it come in for regular maintenance. It runs great.
One thing that kills me too on those, there is no pan gasket. It's just Permatex. And I'm looking at all the IPLs, I'm like, where the hell's the gasket? You know, and there is none.
Even on some of the new Briggs engines.
Yeah,
I don't mind. What I like, real was it Right Stuff in the aerosol?
Yeah.
Too bad it's $35 a can.
Yeah.
You know, ridiculous.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
I find sometimes it's glued on so hard. Like I was taking
With the
apart a
Honda.
Honda
Yeah.
GCV 160,
With the
and
45-degree angle. Yeah.
the valve cover is so thin and it's glued on there so tight.
Yeah.
To
That's
get
why
it
I
off
swapped
without
them
bending
out.
it.
I swapped them out for the cast aluminum valve cover.
Yeah,
I remember it. Yeah, you did a video on that a
you
while
probably have
back.
no
Yeah,
choice
about
because you got to
4 or
bend
5
the
years.
other one probably. Yeah.
Oh no, I've never had one come off without bending the hell out of it. Yeah.
You should have seen this one. I had to use the vise and a few different tools to straighten it. It was bad.
The only one I got off successfully, you know, those like Olfa knives where you snap off the blade. Because it's very thin.
Yeah.
I'll extend the blade out like 4 inches and like go around the perimeter of it. That's the only way I can get it off without mangling it. Because there's really no edges that you can pry. It'll just bend. You know,
it'll bend. It just bends. If you try to pry, it bends.
Yeah. What's Christian saying? What's one generous
What hack? I think the biggest hack that comes to mind, I don't even know if you call it that, but flashing the fields with a drill.
Oh.
I saw that done.
I did it on a Generac.
I saw that done, and it does work, but I describe it as a hack because if you're doing that, you're not sure what's wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like now I can quickly see, all right, what's wrong with it? I don't need to do the drill. Sometimes you do, but if it's a brush generator, just flashing the field with a battery is a much better way to go.
Yeah, with a diode.
What's that?
Oh, so it doesn't come back?
Right, so it's biased one way, so you're putting voltage into the rotor. When it finally excites above the voltage that the battery can provide, the reverse current doesn't go back into the battery, and you get a bomb in your hand.
Oh,
yeah, haven't used a diode yet.
Yeah, I have an angle grinder that I don't use anymore. It's corded, but I'll run that on the ground, go like this with it, you know. And
yeah,
I've used that before.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Most of the time, you have there's permanent magnets within the rotor, as we know, on a lot of the newer generators. Some of the older ones don't. But if you're having to excite the field all the time, I ran into this problem. A lot of these aftermarket AVRs are supposed to turn on with about 5 to 6 volts of residual magnetism. Some of the aftermarket ones are supposed to turn on that way, but sometimes you need 3 volts to turn on. And if you put one in and and the residual magnetism is only 3 volts, but you put a 5 to 6 volt AVR in, it'll never self-excite. So you have to get, sometimes you have to get the OEM one, even if there's.
And that one thing I found out with that too, Gary, is it won't energize or give enough power for that carburetor solenoid.
Correct.
So it'll never start.
Correct. So that's another one of those weird tricks, and you feel like you're chasing ghosts in the machine, but sometimes it's just you're not using the right part. If you have to get the OEM part for that particular generator, there might be a lot of different clone copies on Amazon, but the way that they build them, so that if the generator doesn't have anything beyond, say, 3 to 4 volts, and you need 5 to 6, it actually does make a difference.
Yeah, I remember when I first met James, I was working on it didn't have an AVR, it had a capacitor in it. It was a yellow, what the hell brand was it? McCulloch. It was actually a McCulloch.
Yep.
And Jim had told me a story about an old shop, electronic shop or something, where the guy had millions of caps and things like that. Right, Jim? You got him at an old like, beat up shop. But anyway, we were talking about
electric motor shop.
Yeah, testing capacitors, and I did buy a cap tester and all that, but I couldn't find the damn thing except on eBay, and the guy wanted like $75 for the one cap. Jim's like, yeah, I picked up a few of them for about $4 each. I'm like, what? You know? And it had to be that certain rating to get the right output and everything else. Right. And I ended up spending the money. The customer didn't mind, he spent the money and it worked. But it was just funny how some generators, now the guys on eBay are no dummies. They know that they got the market. If they'll buy 10 of them from a Chinese supplier and then call it McCulloch, and it's not McCulloch at all. It's Wang Feng or whatever the hell it is, but the right rating, and they know they got you. So you'll see one day for $12 and another seller next day $78.
Right.
and you're like, what
Right, but they advertise it for your model, so
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
just like that's how it is
They-
in the HVAC industry as well.
yeah,
Changing out your start run capacitor for your air conditioning, for
yeah,
example.
yep,
Usually it's a 2 capacitors or 3 capacitors in one assembly, one for your compressor, one for your fan. And the better quality ones that used to be US made, but now there's actually some decent quality capacitors, run capacitors, oil filled ones for HVAC. They're made in Mexico.
yeah,
They're made in Mexico and they work great. Uh, Probably won't get the 20 years of life like the US ones did, but it's
yeah.
10 years is still good.
Yeah, Kohler with Relco. All I know is, as long as it says, made in USA or made in Mexico or made in Brazil, I don't have an issue with it, to be honest. Just like Briggs, half the packages will say made in China, some will say made in Mexico, made in Brazil, made in Yugoslavia, whatever. So, as long as it's an OEM, whether it says Relco on the box or Kohler, it's still OEM. So, I haven't had an issue lately. Klaus is saying you heat up the gasket with a torch. Yeah, if you can do
Yep.
that. Yep.
Good idea.
Wayne
Thanks.
is here. Wayne and Jake. Hello.
Hello.
Let's see. What do we got here? High quality multimeter.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I think you guys taught me this too. What is it called, Gear? What type of multimeter? A non-something? What'd you call it?
It's you need
Fuse
either
limit or
you need a true RMS meter.
True RMS. Okay.
Yes.
And that's I ended up. I think you gave me a link one time, and I bought it. It was cheap on Amazon, like $30 or something. But
Yeah, it's good to have a non-true RMS too. I have both. It's just
I've got
depending on
analog, I got digital, I got all the different.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was going to say too, even an accurate multimeter, like I get emailed once in a while asking about, I hook up my multimeter, I put it to hertz, and it says that's 200 something hertz. How is that possible?
Right.
And
The
the answer is, well, your multimeter is much more accurate than the kilowatt. Like it's measuring probably the ripple on the sine wave instead of the actual thing you're trying to measure. So also be careful, at least when measuring hertz. I find multimeters sometimes can give you a very false reading.
I'll just use a tech.
It's
not that it's false, but it's not what you're trying to measure.
You're trying to read the noise, and a lot of times these meters that you're buying are actually intended to be worked on regular utility work, and the utility doesn't have a lot of harmonic distortion. When you put it on a very high total harmonic distortion generator, then you're going to measure all that noise, and a lot of times the trick behind fixing that issue you're talking about is to put a 0.1 microfarad non-polar capacitor between the leads, and that'll bleed off the extra noise so you can get a more accurate reading.
But isn't that what they tell you to do with like your car's computer too? To fully discharge your car's computer, or is that a resistor?
You're talking about a wire wound resistor, like a 1 ohm.
Yeah, they say if you don't do that, you'll never fully reset it or something.
Right. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the onboard capacitors to self-discharge. They have what are called bleeder resistors, so very high resistance resistors that slowly drain the capacitors over time. If you want to do it quick, well, then you could do it that way too. Wouldn't recommend it because those things are so expensive. It's like a $5,000 part on your car. So I wouldn't. I use that kind of. It's called a snuffer stick. I use that for working on tube amplifiers when I know that there's to discharge the 5 to 690 volts that are on the high voltage plates. You don't want to get shocked by that, believe me.
What would happen if you use? Is it as long as it's flammable? But I think wouldn't it be sticky though? Wouldn't it? Because doesn't deodorant have like sticky stuff in it?
Yeah, I'd be worried about
like the perfume part of it or whatever.
The other chemicals in there that aren't flammable.
But then again, we've used anything that lights for. I've started cars on lighter fluid. Just whatever works.
Well, it's a very highly refined fuel, butane. It's even higher distilled.
There's Mick over in the UK. It's about 10 o'clock there, 10:15. Anywho. Yeah, I thought we'd have some more questions. We'll see. I figured come on a little bit earlier so that way the guys over in the UK aren't in bed yet, or they're getting close to going to bed. But we'll see. our friend Stella is on our country or continent-wide tour. She went from North Carolina. She saw Mr. Clem down there. She saw Rusty Rooster. She went across to a scooter rally in Eugene, Oregon. She had her van checked out by the custom builder who made it in Colorado. Then she went and saw our friend Steve Small Engine Saloon on Vancouver Island. And then she headed back out to Alberta and saw Bruce's shop. She spent a couple days with Bruce.
Wow.
She was at Jasper National Forest there in Alberta.
Wow.
That sounds like fun.
Then she went to Saskatchewan. Then she went down. Now she's in Montana. And I think she's going to stop by and see Terrell, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, my goodness.
Heading back up. She's going to go see our friends in Ontario, Wayne, Jake, and then Tyler and Erica, Married with Small Engines. Then she's going to come down and see me and Hank here in Connecticut. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's around a 2-month tour. She left around the 4th of July.
Wow, that's awesome.
She's got a
Mercedes. That really is.
Let me know.
Diesel van that she bought all customized with heat.
Wow.
All that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, let me know when she's in town.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to figure out where we want to take her, where we want to have dinner, Let's see what else we got.
There's plenty of restaurants around here in Connecticut. Some are really good. Some of them are not so much.
Let's see. Who else is here?
It's pretty cool.
No sweat. Camshaft. Oh, yeah, cool.
Love that picture, Ohio, Pat. I'm a dog person myself. She just turned 1 year.
Nice to hear you did that.
Yeah.
Hey, question.
If it's broken, you can't break it anymore. I mean, you can, but it still doesn't work.
How much small engine stuff do you guys have in your shop that if I asked you right now, you'd say, I'm never going to fix it?
I've got...
Really, Gary?
Everything that comes through gets fixed.
No, but I'm saying there's nothing that you've taken either on a trade or something and you realize, you know what? I'm never going to fix this thing or never going to. I looked the other day and I'll be honest, I've probably got 20 pieces of equipment, mostly chainsaws and things like that. But it's like, and honestly, like Erica, a cylinder kit, piston cylinder, whatever, it could all be fixed. But am I ever going to do it? Probably not. So there may be a fire sale at Ken Small Engine where you can get a $30 chainsaw and cylinder kit.
I got a few of your 2-strokes last year, and they still haven't been fixed yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Well, I tell you though, you made out okay with the blower, the backpack. That worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
That one I did fix.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the hedge trimmer the other day, and the few other things I got from you.
What do you think about brands like Condon? Well, I mean, plastic camshaft have been around for a while. I mean, I don't mind the plastic gear. I don't like the plastic lobes. But then again, they're molding it over splined plastic. Or splined metal. It really shouldn't go anywhere unless you have a catastrophic failure.
It shouldn't. With Honda, though, do they do it right? Is that the better question? Because like Briggs, I've had them where they slip. The gear slips on the cam or the lobes wear out. The Honda engines with the timing belt, with the timing belt and the single lobe cam, I haven't heard of one of those failing. Do they fail? What's that? Is that a Briggs?
That's a 725 series. You can get replace the plastic gear on the crankshaft with the metal one for about $15, but it doesn't solve the $45 plastic camshaft. But what I wanted to show you, you mentioned before about stuff that will never get fixed. I had repaired one of those Power Flow impellers where the green one on the side here got completely destroyed. I replaced the impeller. I also had to replace the motor. I've been bastardizing parts from that motor for a couple of years now. Starters, cylinder cover gaskets, or the cylinder valve cover, for example. Little things here and there, but I haven't had the heart because it's got a blown connecting rod. It's absolute trash, but I've been harvesting parts on it little by little. That'll never fix it, though, because I don't really need the motor.
Yeah, like I said, I was looking the other day, and I've got some blown up steel, trimmers and things like that. And I'm saying to myself, and even tractors in my backyard. I've probably got 3 or 4 tractors that if I want to put the time in, it'd be a nice tractor for somebody. But I've got one with a Husqvarna, nice one, big deck, but it's got 2 of the valve guides sunk. Now, yes, I can take the head off. I can pin them or set screw them, whatever. But my time and effort, what am I going to get for it?
Well, that's it. And my wife does not want our backyard to become a junkyard, so
well,
that's why
my neighbor.
stay away from that stuff.
So my neighbor's decent about it, but right now the overgrowth is covering 3/4 of my inventory in the back. There is literally covered with overgrowth.
Perfect.
No
one will ever see it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
The forest will reclaim the equipment.
Yeah. Well, then my neighbor gets pissed when
Curtis.
When the overgrowth dries down, like in the winter time. But I was like, wait a minute, you're saying you don't like looking at my stuff when you've got an old BMW that hasn't run in 10 years, a snowmobile trailer, 2 snowmobiles, and a stack of tires. I'm like, what's So anyway. Oh, let's see here. New Hondas. Yeah, the new Hondas. Yep, was it the 190s? I think, and the
190s. Yeah, the bigger ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here.
Hondas are built really well, though.
Steel one. Well, no, it's $9. What? That's got to be Chinesium. I don't think anything's $9. But Honda prices, probably 10 years ago, when all the Chinesium stuff started coming out, Honda dumped their prices like 80%. Yeah. I used to spend $100 on a crankshaft. Now they're like $19. It's ridiculous. I guess they said, you know what, you want to dump on us, China? Screw you. And they're still making money.
Yeah, but the tariffs are also causing the prices to be higher too. So their landing cost is much higher when they get them in Georgia. That's the main hub.
Well, Jim, it's his buddy that's the recycler guy, Jim's friend.
Jason,
Yeah, Jason.
We all know
I have
Jason.
another guy, Jay, not to be confused with Jason, who's been dropping off stuff too now. So, Jay's the recycler. I'll give him all the metal scrap, but he said he doesn't get a lot of money for it. Like, it's
but let me ask you though, Jim, when you redo something that Jason has dropped off, does he take it back, sell it, and you split the profit, or how does that work?
I guess the answer is it depends, because I'll give him stuff that's mine that I've fixed. He has nothing to do with it. He'll sell it for me, do all the legwork, give me all the money. Oh, wow. For the stuff that I fix for him, it's usually parts, and then I don't usually charge him for more than that. He sells it, makes his money. I publish the video and make my money. It's not about. It used to be about making money off selling the machines, but now it's about getting them out. So I stopped tripping over them and moving on to something else.
One thing that's good about having a channel as large as yours, you can sort of recoup some of the costs with the video.
Yep.
I mean, a channel like mine, Gary's smaller, small, relatively. I mean, I'll make $8 on a video. So I really don't even post a lot of small engine stuff on my channel anymore. I've tried to do it on my S&G small engine repair channel because the algorithm is very unforgiving on YouTube. So if it doesn't know what audience to send you, so I just started doing a lot more bass guitar and audio gear on this channel. But on my other channel that I have with the small engine, I try to just post stuff that hasn't been posted before, but haven't really had a lot of time. But that's really the best way to do it. Have a separate channel for everything, and at least you get the ad revenue for that.
It is. Absolutely it is. I used to publish some RV repair videos like way back, but I can't do that. I'd have to do another channel now for something like that.
You still get the following though. Hey, go check out my other channel.
Yeah, you probably would.
You would do really well.
In the RV.
Yeah.
You'll always be known as the Bob Ross of generator repair, though.
Yeah.
I got that picture somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So do
texted
I.
to us. You said
It's
that
on
to
my
us.
community tab, actually. You'd have to go back a little.
John Doe. Yeah, I've had where customers have taken something from Home Depot or Lowe's, forget the tag that says no oil in it, tried to run it, oh crap, blow something, or at least get it to where it's running like crap, put new oil in it, and then bring it to me and say, oh, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? And I'm like, why don't you just bring it back to Home Depot? It's brand new. Then they'll admit
Yeah.
that they ran
Yeah.
it for a minute or two until they started hearing it clunking and oh shit.
Oh no.
So, but I have taken some apart and sanded off the residue and everything and got them going. But they're just embarrassed for the most part. But that's why I love when you see an engine that looks like it's blown apart and the oil's like fresh. You're like, what? But just like with the two-stroke story that we always hear, when someone brings me a two-stroke that their neighbor straight gassed, they're not smart enough to hit the primer bulb or the purge bulb. So you drain out the brand new fresh mixed fuel in there. Hey, it's fresh fuel. What happened? What happened? Hold on. So then I take the line off. I hit the purge bulb into a little Dixie cup, and I'm like, and they look at you and
Yeah, you got to be smarter than these customers because these customers will lie.
You get some Hey, my favorite though is when the guy brought me what I had just brought to the dump that morning, swearing it was his. Even though it literally had my address scribed into the plastic case, he brings me a weed eater that I dropped off 2 hours earlier at the dump, swears his neighbor gave it to him that morning.
Oh, man.
And I don't know. And I looked at him, I said, look, not for nothing. And I go, what's that? He goes, what's that? I said, my address. I said, that's my address. What? I said, yeah, because I dropped so. Oh, well, he probably went to the dump and got it after you dropped it off, and then he gave it to me. Yeah, okay.
Guy's 4 quarters short of $1 there.
Oh my God. But then he said to me, I go, why do you think it's at the dump? I will not throw it out if it's usable in any way, shape, or form. I said, it's scored, it's destroyed, knew it was $80. It's not worth looking, not even looking at it. So anyway. Briggs can some of the Briggs stuff. Like I said, I think their quality has gone down, to be honest. 100 PSI. But did you check the valve lash and everything? I mean, we say anything with ACR. What did you say, Jim? 60 and above, if it's got ACR on a 4-stroke?
It's usually around 60 PSI.
Yeah.
It could be 50 to 70, but 60, somewhere around there.
Yeah, if you're coming in at 100, that's actually, it sounds like it's sticking a little bit. Not enough lash, because that's pretty high. What else we got here? I love this guy's name, Podlasi, Center for Computational Phytology. That's cute. With springs from governor arm to carb. I bought the kit on Amazon where you get like 4 million governor springs for like $12. I love that kit. It's got one for the Toro. It's got one for the Honda. Every governor spring you could think of is in that kit for around $12. There's like 20 sets of governor springs in there. Yeah, I love it. Yep, Chinese hand, but hey, springs. That's one thing about the Hondas, though, like the GXs. If you don't have the right governor spring, it don't run right. And there's not a lot of difference in them either. There really isn't. Wayne, what are you saying? Wayne bought a top of the line self-development 30 years ago, $300. Yeah, $300. Yeah, sold for $250. Yeah, because a new one's $1,000. Yep, crazy what they get for these things.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we got here? Free equipment sells quick. See, around here, I don't know about you guys, but people aren't buying a lot of stuff lately. I don't know.
They don't have the extra cash. Everything is so expensive. I mean, Connecticut's the land of taxation.
Yeah, and everyone that's asking me for mowers lately wants a self-propelled and a bagger. It's like, well, I got non-self-propelled bagger, or I got self-propelled missing a bag. The bags are $90. I mean, they should. I don't know why Chinesium doesn't redo like Toro bags and the frames. $95 from the dealer for the assembly.
Yeah.
It's like, why isn't there a Chinesium $27 assembly? They'd sell 1 million of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Without the oil in the box. I wonder how many do put the oil in the box. Usually they do. Toro does. Toro puts the 19 ounces of oil. Actually, the newer engines, I think, are only like 14 ounces. It's not a lot of oil at all. That's why I'm saying when these people go on angles with these, I don't know how it survives.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem too. Like some of these engines, like the older ones would take a quart and a half. The newer ones, a lot less oil goes in them. So you don't have as much error. If you get low on oil, you don't have to be that low before you blow.
Yeah, if the guy's running the RPM really high when he's checking the compression, that could be too. 800. Yeah.
I think it's
the ACR is like, I thought the ACRs are like 1100.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like a little over 1,000 RPMs.
Yeah, a little over 1,000. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it probably varies from machine, but
yeah,
I would say it's faster than that.
The grass going here. Yeah, our grass is totally dead.
Yep,
I mean, now we got rain. It's been raining here since about 2:30, and they're saying it's going to rain into tomorrow. So that means we'll get a little bit of grass growing. Toro wheel horse. Ooh, electrical gremlins. I love electrical gremlins, especially on some of those older, like the Toro, like the 520 with all the lights on the dash and all those different things. What's Jay say? Probably the Toro, they would include a 20-ounce bottle. Put in the whole bottle. Yeah, because most of the time, depending, I mean, the Briggs, the Tecumsehs are 19 ounces. The Briggs are anywhere from 14 to 20 ounce, depending on the size of it. But yeah, who check, and how many people don't know, screw in the oil cap versus don't screw in, That's where I find most of the Hondas that I see. Everybody I have that I fix Hondas for, they screw it in and they don't have enough oil in. I mean, it only takes half a quart anyway, and you're getting like 4 ounces less when you screw it in, and they still survive.
RTFM.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. There should be a sticker though on some of the newer engines. I do see a sticker showing the dipstick just laying there. They do have a decal.
Well, it should say that. It should also say on the engine like how much oil to put in it.
It should.
You never see that anymore.
Sometimes it's printed on like Kawasaki. It'll be printed on the dipstick sometimes, or molded in the number of ounces, or even on the Briggs V Twin, it'll say 48 ounce. Let's see, filled by Honda GX200. Travel oil. Yeah, well, when you get a leaking needle and seat, I mean, how many times we take out an oil plane, we get doused. Where did all the fuel go? It's in the crankcase. Especially when you leave it for a while.
Could be. It's also temperature. Like if you fill it up right to the last thread on a cold day and then take the dipstick out on a warm day, it's gonna be overfilled a little.
Sure.
Just due to the heat.
I mean, that's how I've been filling Hondas lately, to that last thread done. Oh, man. Let's see. Hey, Jim, one of the guys was asking me privately about you and torque. And I think I'd asked you this one time before, where even something as simple as an air cleaner screw or nut or something, you still torque. I think I asked you one time, in some of the Honda manuals, they'll give you every single torque for every single fastener. But do you just use the general charge too, where they call out the nominal diameters and use that as a basis?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of manuals will, like, some manuals don't even specify the torque for the crankcase bolts. You have to use the general specs, which blows my mind, but for the less important ones, they usually don't call out. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't look at every single torque spec anymore, because a lot of the specs are based on, Honda GX390 or a clone of a GX390, and they're pretty much identical, whether you're talking OEM or clone. So they're so close, you just pick one and go with it.
I know myself, growing up as an engineer, we always had to know, is it steel on steel, steel into aluminum, steel into cast iron, lubed, unlubed. I mean, there was so many different factors that, when we called out torques on a machine or something, we had to know exactly, how deep to make the threads. Number one, I mean, like steel on steel, you got to go at least 1 times the diameter deep with threads, whereas on cast iron, you got to go 1.5 minimum. Aluminum, you got to go 2. And a lot of people don't know that. Or look at the air cleaners on the Honda, where you're going a steel bolt into an aluminum thread in the block, yet you have the steel anti-over torque ring, the bushing.
The bushing there.
So you're really, it's a push and pull, you know what I mean? So it's not 100%, but like you said, most manuals will have the inch and metric nominal size bolt listed, but they don't tell you, is it lubed threads? Is it steel into steel, steel into aluminum? So I'm assuming most of it.
They don't.
Most steel into aluminum.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like if you're looking up general specs, like on the internet, then you really need to pay attention. Is it fine thread, coarse thread? What material you're going into? What bolt material are you using? Threads wet or dry? I mean, and that's the thing. You're not going to know that from a lot of these small engines. I mean, you'll know obviously you're going into aluminum, but at some point it's a guessing game. But a lot of these manuals will get you most of the way there on these engines, and once you've done them, once you've looked at all these manuals, they're very similar for the same engine or clone of the same engine. They're all the same.
Do you guys recommend a magnetic dipstick for inverter generators?
Can't hurt.
I throw rare earth magnets.
The magnet breaks off.
But I take rare earth magnets and I have them on all my oil pans on my cars and trucks. I mean, it's right next to the fill plug just in case.
Yeah,
magnets never hurt, especially when you take the ones out of like a hydrostatic. You take it out and it looks like a starburst. With all the stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're good to have. I mean, to me, it's not necessary. I mean, as long as you're changing the oil every the recommended intervals, you're not going to get that much of the debris in there to be a problem. It's more for cheap insurance. Like, I don't know how much those go for. They're like, what, $15-20? I don't even have one on my EF2000 IS Yamaha.
Yeah,
well, Brendan,
I don't either.
Happy birthday to your son.
Happy birthday.
Shout out from Rowan. Happy birthday, Rowan.
There you go. Hope you got that recorded.
How long do you think small engines will be around? I'm a young buck on that question. I don't know.
Hey, on my lifetime, question. I'll say my lifetime.
Well, my lifetime too, unless something legislative says otherwise.
I just think there's so much.
But if they stopped making engines today, there's so many out there today, you'd be fixing them, 50 years from now.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever stop. I mean, it may, get to a point where it'll be so tough to get parts that we have to stop doing it, but who knows? Yeah. Oh, is it true if you fill a lawnmower engine with 1040 is at 1030? Yeah. I mean, it acts
lawnmower?
like when it's warm versus 30.
It's lighter oil.
You're going to have a little more drag with the 40, but, if it's 100 degrees out in the dead of summer, you're going to notice it? No.
But on a lawnmower, I would use 30.
Yeah, definitely use 1030. It acts as straight 30 when it's hot and acts as a 5W30 when it's cold.
I mean, I remember when I used to drag race, I didn't have any oil for the lawnmower. I put straight 60 in it. It was the racing oil. It still worked, But then it was 90 degrees out. I wouldn't use it in the winter. How many of you guys try to start a snowblower with only a pull start when it's got straight 30 in it? Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun, but I got to go help my wife start making salmon fillets for dinner.
Ooh, sounds good. All right, it's been over an hour, so we'll cut it here. Anybody that didn't get to ask a question or has a question, I know one person wanted to contact James, and usually we all have our emails and our contact info in our About section on our home channels. So if you need to contact us for anything, you can go there. If there are any other questions and we didn't get to you tonight, or you have another question, put it in the comments. Please hit the like, subscribe if you don't mind. It doesn't cost anything. And I know all of us can use extra subscribers. We never say no to that. But anyway,
appreciate it.
Take care, everybody. Jim, thank you so much. Same thing with you, Gary.
Thank you.
And, we'll do it again soon. I mean, right now, we tried to do it monthly, but it's been a weird summer. It's been hotter than hell, and Gary's got his band stuff, and Jim's got his family, and I have my crap. And but we'll try and answer as many as we can. Leave questions in the comments. I will get with these two, and we'll try and get them answered for you and put them back in the comment. If it requires a video or something, we'll try that too. But anyway, Klaus and all you guys that stayed up, thank you so much. I know, Klaus, it's 11:40 there in Denmark, so thanks for staying up. And all the guys over there and the other side of the world. All right, that's it. We will talk to you soon, guys. Take care.
Take care.
There.